books my whole life, fella. Now talk about I've been reading books my whole life, fella. Now talk about I've been writing books for a check, fella. Now talk about I've been.
This concept captures the idea that people from different racial, class, and cultural backgrounds share public space together, but in fact they are while they're physically integrated, they are segregated. And this happens because they develop their groupings based upon pre-existing networks or connections that they have. And so when they go to the nightlife, the areas which they occupy become areas in which they share these spaces with people that are not like them, but in fact only relate to or connect to those who are like them. So at the nightclub level, you have local institutions like the police or the government that actually develop laws or rules that help to govern the street and the way that people pass on the street. For example, there's a cruising ban that was instituted that had a profound impact on the use of the streets by African Americans from the community, because one of the things they would do as part of their exciting time together is to cruise the streets, so to speak. And by instituting this cruising ban, the downtown institutions were able to limit the kinds of interactions or activities that one group was able to participate in. And so that you have these kinds of things that are instituted to keep separate or segregate groups. Another example is the nightclub owners themselves actually come up with dress codes, but these dress codes happen to be very specifically related to the kinds of dress worn typically by African Americans. It attacks urban attire. So one of the things that I found is that as I was conducting this study, I had spent a lot of time in this particular town, and I began to see these patterns emerge where people were interacting in these very kind of segregated groups. And as I began to travel the country, going to larger cities and even smaller cities, began to see a pattern that even in different geographical locations, these similar kinds of patterns of integration yet segregation were occurring. And so this was a way to help me develop and flesh out the idea of integrated segregation, that this not only occurs in this small town, but it also develops and occurs in at a broader level in other cities and towns.
I've been writing books for a check, fella. Now talk about I've been writing books for a check, fella. Now talk about I've been reading books my whole life, fella. No talk about got 10,000 down in my cellar, fella. No one talk about